Hello guys, it's Faejuice here, and today I'm going to run you through how I designed this monster for the Adobe Dungeons & Dragons monster design competition. First I sketched out the initial layout. I had this idea of a sort of plant man with vines and sort of tentacle-like vines coming out from his body. I wanted him to look quite skinny and a little bit undead, so I added a sort of rib cage sort of protruding from his body. I planned out the grayscale. I thought this was a good idea to begin with. I normally do this because it helps me figure out the lighting quite quickly, but without worrying about colour. I gave him sharp teeth and I thought I'd give him a smile because he I wanted to give him some sort of personality. I used a clipping mask to define his shape, so when I was doing the tones and stuff, my brush wouldn't overflow outside of his shape. I struggled with the lighting on the tentacles because it's not something you see often in nature, apart from maybe octopuses, but they're in underwater, so I thought the lighting would be different. Here I was playing around with a gravel texture, thinking that the gravel would make a nice skin texture for the monster. I decided to leave this until later because I didn't feel like I had the lighting down quite correct yet. I started working on the background, and this I found the most difficult of the piece. I didn't really know how I was going to do it, but I used the clone tool to get a stone brick texture in the background. I'm not sure I like how this worked, but time was running short and I needed to get this done. I added a border to the door because I thought that this would give some more structure, and added some lighting. I thought the cracks would be good to begin with, but after adding some texture to the background, I thought that this would be a bit overkill. But I felt that the texture helped add a bit more stone to the background. Decided to make him green because he was a plant, and I toggled the opacity a little bit. I added the colour over the top of an overlay, and I played with some smoke, but I didn't feel like this looked good, so I decided against it. I played with the levels a little bit. After speaking with my teacher, he suggested that I make the background a bit smaller to give it a bit more depth into the piece. So I transformed the back and made it smaller. I feel that this added a bit more depth, as he said. And I added some more lighting to the tentacles because he looked a bit 2D. I messed around with the hues a bit, and I liked the red on the back wall, looked a bit like blood, so I thought that this was a nice touch. And I added a bit of yellow light to convey candlelight. This is my project. Thank you very much for watching. Fade Juice out.